So her friend, her neighbor, comes by. She mentioned she had a bunch of game stuff. 4, 6, and then the Game Boy and that for everything.
Yeah, I'll do 20.
Cool.
Yeah,
thank you. Because $30 was already a good price. Why not try for 20? What I really, really liked about this deal, this guy. I think this might be the launch box, but I think maybe I'm wrong. My brother had the launch box. Let's get this stuff. People read with this, man. Got the Tetris. Look at this. Not even opened. What would make this even better is if the batteries were in there, not even open. It doesn't have a serial number on it, serial number sticker. So you could pretty much stick in any early Game Boy system brick in there, and you have yourself a nice original launch model Game Boy in the box. They had a black Game Boy Advance. So here we go. We got Justice League, Injustice for All. We got Zelda, the Oracle of Ages, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Geist, which I'm really curious if this game is ever going to become so sought after. Official Wind Waker strategy guide, again in just immaculate condition. Final pieces of cheese.
You know,
I don't know, 5?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll give you take the whole thing for $5.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Alright, $5. Way to start the day. After I purchased this, another garage sailor mentions some of those old ones, they go for a decent amount. I'm like, come on, buddy. You know, you don't even go after video games. Stop trying to screw around with me just because maybe you're not having such a hot day. So we got Pac-Man, Fishing Derby, Indy 500, Asteroids, Combat, Pitfall, Breakout. I'm excited to try this one. Space Invaders. Bunch of controllers. This one actually has some good play on it. And besides all these cables and shite, not just any 6-switch. This one's got some heft. See that? Sunnyvale. On the back, you'll see the label where it's where it was made, and it'll say Sunnyvale on there, and you'll know that's one of the original Ataris. So this is a heavy sixer, and just by the heft of it, the 6-switch, and the fact that it says Sunnyvale, California. It's not die-cast, nor does it have the lead paint. It can't be all the Sonic stuff. That's cute. Underoos. Oh, that's hilarious. It's time to catch up. These are my pickups for the week of May 6, 2018. I think we got our problem solved, at least until we pick up like another Atari 5200 or you know, an original Xbox. Which leads me into my first sale here. I picked up this bag. Inside the bag there were 2 Xbox, 2 360, and 2 off-brand GameCube controllers. When is it that third-party controllers look exactly like a first-party controller? I doubt I'm ever going to use this. As well as this.
Actually, this came from my neighbor.
I say, you know, how much you want for it.
Doing me a favor.
Okay, so just take everything?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. For free. She's like, you can just have it. Down here, there were 2 boxes. Can you imagine this treasure being thrown in the garbage? This guy, this store manager, when he moved in to that role, it just became a lot more difficult to grab loose cases and boxes, and sometimes I'll see them there and I'll just say, man, I so want to ask for this, but I know the guy's just going to probably give me some guff over it. This is empty inside, has the mail, has the tray, has even a plastic bag for a cartridge. Would I be able to just have it, just in case I ever come across the game? I was disappointed. He threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, I frown upon doing that, but...
There was Zoop there, the game that appeared out of nowhere and suddenly was the successor to Tetris. It was like on everything. It was on Game Boy, Game Gear, Genesis, Super Nintendo. I think they even had a Jaguar version. But yeah, it was like the next fad, and it was gone in an instant. I think the fad was completely manufactured because obviously Zoop's not around and Tetris still is. This day started out with me being upset over a guy who wouldn't sell PSPs in his garage. So these next two sales were the last two sales of the day. I hadn't found anything. But this particular sale mentioned they had a son or a daughter who had video game stuff. And in the ad they mentioned, I think it was Nintendo and Atari. So I'm expecting them to have nothing when I come there an hour and a half later. But in a box they had a Sega. But I was surprised this thing was still sitting out, even at 40 bucks.
Would you go 25?
25? Okay, I'll do 25. I mean, nobody couldn't have anyone have tried to bargain them down to a lower price. Inside there's Virtual Cop 2. It looks like it's in good condition. And really happy, this is the first time I've ever found a Sega Saturn Model 2 controller. And I think this is a Japanese controller. Of course it had some cables. Look at that spaghetti! Because I think the American ones were only released in black, but I could be wrong. Now this is a gun you would expect to make some ruckus. Look at that, I can't even get it on the frame, it's so huge. Bam! Ooh, what is this? Maybe it's Music to Sonic CD? Crazy Taxi? This is all like the paperwork, I guess, that came with the Dreamcast. VMU... Bush now. Yeah, that's the NBA 2K2 Saturn manual. What is this? Feels like there's another disc. And I guess Virtual Cop 2 is in there. So I wasn't done with this sale. Not yet. I don't even know if I'd really show this so much. I mean, I love comics and I've talked about them on this show before, but...
You're not gonna be happy.
Man. The main reason I'm talking about this at all is because of this magazine here. My dad loved going to libraries and he loved going to bookstores. And when he would go to the bookstores like Borders, Barnes & Noble or whatever, I would go straight to the magazine section where I could check out all the latest game news. But then there were also these toy magazines. I don't really remember there being a price guide in here, but I guess I just didn't pay attention to that. I more or less looked at the nice pictures of upcoming toys. This would be 5 comics, and then with the cards that's 6, so that's 3. And then the strobe is, you said 1, so I'll pay for it.
Sold.
I also picked up Jello Man, Savage Dragon. If you don't know, Eric Larson drew Savage Dragon. He also draws the best Venom, I think. RoboCop vs. Terminator. Gambit. I don't know. I figured, why not? Flair was, to me, these were like the best quality cards. You had really thick stock, you had amazing artwork, and even though this looks kind of crappy to me right now, actually, you know what kind of stinks? They don't have any of the stuff that would normally be on back. Storm, look at that. And then we got some uncut cards here, right? Maybe they were promos given out at comic stores. Woo! Marvel Metal. This series, man, they were just like, buy us! We're shiny! This is actually my favorite card of the entire series. Features Venom as if the symbiote bonded with the Punisher. And it's based on a What If comic. What If number 44, if I remember correctly. And because of that, when I went to a Comic-Con in New York, the Big Apple Comic-Con, which was held in like the bottom of this church. Because of this very card, I bought an old comic. It probably was released in my lifetime, but I never knew about it. I went from finding nothing to finding the Saturn and a bunch of Nintendo games. Finding old games is such an uncommon thing anymore that I'm just like, so I can't believe my eyes when I see it. Especially when I see these titles, it was like, how could nobody pick these up? These were each like $1 or $2. So there were 11 in here. So would you take, you said $1 or $2, would you take 20 for total?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let's just go through these. Gauntlet 2, RoboCop. It feels like you're firing a pea shooter in here. It should be more like blam, blam. Or maybe it's like, it was kind of like had a machine gun effect to it, I think. It was like... Ice Climber. Oh man. I don't know if I found out about the Ice Climbers late, like maybe in the GameCube Smash Brothers, or I was late to the party with this one. This is a game I played a little bit of, maybe through an emulator, but I'm really looking forward to enjoying this one. Pristine copy of Turtles 3. Don't overlook this game. Much better than the arcade game. That game's broken as hell. The only way to play that game is by jump kicking, and that's no way to play. You want to be able to play any way you want. Dick Tracy. Which one is better? NES or Sega Master System? Friday the 13th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Woohoo! DuckTales. Not one, but 2 copies of TMNT 1. Batman Return of the Joker, which this isn't really even a Batman game. I mean, it has Batman and it's a solid game and all, but it's just like a Contra game. You get different guns as Batman and you shoot things. Got the whole LGN library poster here, complete with the Rollin' Rocker. Did a damn fine job of Tetrising everything in there, but I was gonna get strawberries, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit anything anymore. Not with this dollar strobe light. Well, I was even able to fit 2 pounds of strawberries. I just was disappointed by what I was finding at the garage sales, and then ended up with my backpack completely stuffed. And I mean, part of that was I bought I didn't show it, but I bought a strobe light from the same garage sale where I got the Saturn and the comics. You know, I didn't really know what I was going to use it for, but it was $1, so I was like, why not? And even after all this, I managed to fit I think 2 pounds of strawberries in my backpack, so I was really floored. So yeah, anyways, it's out there. Go get it.